That's right.
That brings us to our next topic on the list, Ben Roethlisberger and his big controversy over the sexual assault allegation. Brandon, what's your take on that?
I could see it.
You could see it?
I could see it.
He could see it.
He's an NFL champion, Super Bowl winner. I mean, he's a big boy, handsome man, and he's going out and fooling around with the ladies. I could see it happening. Wouldn't you? If you had that much money, you had a championship ring on.
There's no question about Ben Roethlisberger and his championship ring. Or I guess the question of if he's big enough to take advantage of a woman. I don't think that's the question. The big controversy is that it's happened so often. We've got two separate occasions. I think one's in Georgia and maybe the latest one, Arizona, I'm not sure. But two separate instances where women are saying that Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers has sexually assaulted them in some way. That's not saying it's rape or anything. There's no clear definition of what happened, but two separate occasions kind of increases the likelihood that it probably did happen one of those times, or just a couple of girls. I think one of them worked at Harrah's, maybe trying to get into the national spotlight here. But in my opinion, I think that it's very possible that it happened. And that's not a good thing for the NFL, because you never want something like that to happen to one of your players, especially someone as big as Ben Roethlisberger, who's such an icon in the NFL.
Absolutely, Jake. And I mean, in all seriousness, this is a bad spot for Ben Roethlisberger. A lot of kids, or old and young, it doesn't matter what age, they admire this guy. He's a talented individual for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and for this to happen, not once but twice, at least allegations-wise, definitely not good on his character or the Pittsburgh Steelers or even the NFL. So I guess we're just going to have to see what happens.
We definitely will, Brendan. What we learned today is that Brendan Buck can see it happening. I'm not sure if I want to think about him seeing that happening. And we also learned that Big Ben is indeed a big boy with capabilities of taking down a woman. Which brings us to our next point. Tiger Woods actually talked to the media for the first time following his long absence from golf and his scandal with his wife. I'm sure everyone knows about it, no need to explain. But he talked with ESPN's Tom Rinaldi in about a 5.5-minute interview. There were no regulations posed on the questions asked by reporters. There was just Tiger not answering certain questions. I remember Tom Rinaldi asked him how he was going to rebuild his relationship with his wife. And in my opinion, I don't think that is necessary when Tiger's attempting to make a comeback, trying to come back to Augusta National, return to professional golf. I think everyone's heard enough about his wife. I'm not interested in how many other women he's slept with or what's happened. All I know is that Tiger Woods is a golfer and a great golfer, and I want to know what's going on with his golf career, not in his bedroom.
Absolutely. And, I mean, I'm no Dr. Phil by any means whatsoever. We've all done our mistakes. We've all been there. But when it comes to Tiger Woods, again, with the whole Ben Roethlisberger thing, he's admirable to kids and adults of all different ages, and he's a very talented PGA golf champion and all sorts. And then we've come to find out that he has an arm and a leg full of cheating scandals. I mean, like you said, Jake, I'm more interested in what's he going to do with the Masters instead of how many people he's messed around with in his private life. It's terrible that it's happened to such a great family, but I mean, let them deal with it and let the public know about how you're going to do with the PGA. Simple as that, at least in my opinion.
Tiger Woods, 4 Masters championships to his name, 10-time PGA Tour Player of the Year award winner. It's sad to see that this is happening to such a great athlete.
It really is. That about wraps it up for this episode of Overtime. Next week, we're going to have a special in-depth interview at Pitt State volleyball player Becca Pearson.
Also next week, our special correspondent, Tyler Smith, is going to get us an in-depth look at some of the players on the 2010 golf team. If you feel the need to follow Overtime any more closely than you do now, you can look us up on our Facebook page at Overtime Talk Show or our YouTube account at Overtime 64. You can watch all the shows there, give us feedback, comments, anything you'd like. For Brandon Buck, I'm Jake Faber. You stay classy, Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Can't tell me nothing now, baby, I know how